Let's talk about the Monday game. It's Sri Lanka, South Africa. This was my clean intro because we're going to send this on Pigeon later. Sri Lanka playing South Africa on Monday. This is game 4 of the World Cup. South Africa, of course, maybe a little low on confidence, but they didn't have their big middle order guns playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a team without all that, Klaasen, Markram, distance stops. None of them were there.
Yeah.
So I think you can't judge the South African performance in the West Indies by that. A lot of their younger players were playing. So I think definitely they're a better team than they looked in those 2-3 matches that they played in just before the World Cup. And it's for them, it'll be a good thing that, Klaasen is definitely in form.
DK, I just want to bring your attention to, what is this middle order, man? This is a heavy fire artillery.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
It is probably one of the strongest middle orders going into the tournament. Some real good players of fast bowling and spin. Markram, Miller, Klaasen, Stubbs is about as good as it can get. I do think they're, as always, South Africa is a good team and they, compete to be in that top 4. When they push to a corner, at times they've faltered. I really hope this is their year to do well. They're a solid team and I can tell you most bowling attacks will be wary of a couple of players through that middle. But these pitches are not going to be easy for South African batters, especially the Guyana pitch. If it's going to be like this, it'll be a challenge for all the batters. More so the way South African batters are, it'll be a tough challenge for them.
Quinton de Kock, Markram haven't really set the IPL ablaze, which is the last 2.5 months. Maybe that's the only worry for them with their batting because everybody else is looking.
De Kock definitely, more than Markram. Markram at least captain and had a successful season with the South African
back in
Sunrisers
team.
Yeah. But de Kock is a big worry for them because he's one of their top players. He's a big worry for them. The other thing is that comparatively their spinners haven't had too much of an opportunity. So Shamsi Maharaj, because they are going to play a much larger factor in this tournament. You're looking at very different conditions than what you're looking at normally in South Africa. So I think the way they play the game will also depend a lot on how they play the spinners and how their spinners play.
I just want to bring that South Africa team up again because, of course, they've got very interesting bowling options as well. It's just that in modern day T20, right? You're looking at that all-rounder column and there's only one name there, which seems a little counterintuitive to the way T20 cricket is being played right now.
Now, to be fair, Aiden Markram is an all-rounder as well.
Exactly.
I think,
in these conditions, if he gets the kind of pitch today,
he is
you'd see him bowl 3-4 overs.
As well. So
fair.
It's only fair that he needs to be there. And if he comes in, then if you play 4 bowlers, then it becomes 6 options. But the question is whether Jansen can play because they'll definitely start with a Rabada.
Yeah.
And, their biggest question mark, I believe, will be Andrik Nokia. He's probably had a very lean IPL and he's someone who's very key for them. He bowls at the back end of the power play, but through the middle, he's a wicket taker for them.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really fired in the IPL, so they'll be hoping that post the back injury, he's come to the IPL, not done really well, but here is his opportunity. Are they going to start with him or are they going to go to Jansen and back to spinners? That'll be a call that they need to take.
I also think, if you look at it that way, Maharaj is not a bad bat at all. I mean, Maharaj is a fairly decent bat.
Gerald Coetzee is a good hitter as well. So, but I'm talking in terms of like proper all-rounders that play. All right, when you look at the Sri Lanka team definitely looks like a lot more options there. They have no such problem in the all-rounder column. It's like they can go on with like 13 batters and 14 bowlers in their 11. But that looks interesting. Sometimes you look at that and you go, oh my God, maybe they've taken fewer batters.
But I just find it interesting. Angelo Matthews made his way back and he was a star in that 2009 World Cup. He bowled beautifully with the new ball. Keeper standing up, he bowled absolutely beautifully. For him to still be playing, he's one of those few players from the early tournaments. And, the other thing, Thushara and Pathirana together, you're looking at, a very, very different kind of, those 2 slingy bowlers together in the same team.
Yeah.
And they will be tempted to play them. They will be tempted to play them together. So I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Captain's in good form. That's a good thing.
Hasaranga is back.
Also, that team has a different set of worries. So they played 2 practice matches. One, they beat Ireland comfortably. They lost to Netherlands, but they didn't play the whole team. They didn't bat in the same order and all of that. For them, it is a race against time for injuries. Pathirana is coming back from an injury. Hasaranga is coming back from an injury. Angelo Matthews, picks up an injury very quickly because he's now bowling. He's doing the same role that Joyda was just speaking about, bowls the first couple of overs in the power play. So is he how fit he could be through the tournament? It's a month-long tournament, which is heavy intensity. And a ground like New York. I don't think they're playing in New York, but if they are, it's a tough ground for people with weak legs because it's a very soft ground, so it takes a lot of effort on your hamstring and calves. So, technical things like this can really put players like that in vulnerable positions. So, those are the bigger challenges for them. And ideally, they would love to have a Madhushanka, a Pathirana, and a Tushara because all three are very, very good bowlers with very different skill sets, even though they have similar actions. And they have a good, solid set of spinners as well with Tikshana and Hasaranga. For them, it's about finding form with the bat and the batters really coming through. They've had Kusal Mendes, Avishka Fernanda used to open, who's not part of the squad, so it'll be Nisanka. Sajira Samar Vikrama, someone who bats at the top. If wickets fall quickly, he goes in, otherwise he drops down. Hasaranga is someone they depend on. But for me, the key is how well is Hasaranga going to fire with the bat and ball for them. He's a very key player because he seems to lead from the front, enjoy the role of a captaincy. When he was captain in the LPL, they ended up winning the tournament. So he's got a lot of success and they can piggyback on his success as a team. They haven't really had good World Cups in a few years now. They just managed to qualify but don't perform up to the expectations that their island believes in. So it's an important tournament for them. One where they have, in the last series, they beat their nemesis, Bangladesh. They've had some tough moments against them. They were 1-1 in the series, beat them 2-1. So they have some sort of rhythm going into the tournament, some sort of structure to the 11. It's about getting the right players on the park.
Getting the right players on the park and getting them there in time because otherwise Angelo Matthews will get you. All right? Get your players in on time, South Africa. Just want to bring that Sri Lanka team up again. I just noticed how many captains can you count there? There's a lot of captains.
Yeah, there's been Mendes, there is Hasaranga,
Angelo Matthews,
Dhananjay De Silva,
Shanaka. Yeah.
Shanaka is a fit-in at 8 as well. He seems to bat at 8.
Yeah.
So there are quite a few players who have done that. If you do remember, Junit Velalage had a lovely Asia Cup.
I remember that.
Yeah, so, but he doesn't start in 11 for sure here. So they have a good structure to the 11. I'm pretty sure the 11 is, they know what their 11 is. It's about making sure those players are fit. It could be that they start with a different team and then probably as the tournament progresses, they play a very different team.
Yeah, lots of captains there. Reminds me of the Indian team of the late 80s, early 90s and the Pakistan team for a very long time.
For a very long time. Yeah. You remember the famous story Wasim Akram used to say? That apparently this one of the bowlers, young bowlers, finished his spell and he got this thing and wanted to throw the ball to the captain and said, "Here's skipper." And 7 guys turned out to look at him.
Fair enough. There was a time like that. Player to watch out for, Sri Lanka and South Africa. One each.
Hasaranga for me, absolutely. I mean, if he plays, he's such a vital... he's dominated LPL in both bowling and batting. He's been incredible for them. So, he's very, very important to them. And I think on these surfaces, it's very important for the sake of... I think South Africa, Klaasen has given them a lot. Markram is their key player because he'll bowl, he'll bat, he'll captain. I think Markram needs to fire for them.
For you?
Kusal Mendes and Klaasen.